Texas A&M now joins us on the panel at the far end of the table. We have senior Courtney Walker making the way down the table. We have senior Jordan Jones, senior Chelsea Jennings, and then immediately to my right and your left, head coach Gary Blair. We will start today with questions for student athletes.
All right, Scott Retzloff, 12thman.com. Jordan, with how the season ended a year ago, take us through this year and how special it is for not only for you to play the entire season, but to have the NCAA tournament start here at Reed Arena.
The way the season ended last year, first off for myself, wasn't what I expected or what anybody expected, but looking past that, as we ventured off into the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament, I felt like as a team we didn't live up to our potential despite what obstacles were thrown our way. But this year I feel like we're all motivated now more so than we were last year, because this is our last go-around, and the main focal points for this team has been senior leadership all year. So I feel like the seniors have done a pretty good job coming in each day for practice, just getting our younger kids ready and trying to get them to develop and just get them to used to what we're going to face in the NCAA tournament. But as a team, I feel like that we're ready. We've had almost a week and a half off, and we're all just anxious to get on the court and just get the ball tossed and just get the NCAA tournament started.
Cease.
Robert Sessa, Bryan College Station Eagle. Courtney, when you look at Missouri State defensively, what kind of defense you're looking to go up against? What do they do well?
Well, their defense isn't their strongest point, as we've noticed on film. So we're really going to look to attack them. We worked on man and zone this week. They're mostly a man team, but with the kind of players we have, we're also anticipating zone as well. Just because of the strength of the players on our team.
Ronnie.
Ronnie Woodard, TexAgs.com for Jordan. You guys ended the regular season, I guess, in the SEC tournament on a two-game skid with those losses to Kentucky and Tennessee. Has this time off, this almost 2 weeks it's been now, has that kind of served as a reset button almost in a way for you guys to kind of refocus and get back on track before the tournament starts?
Yes, almost in some type of way. You can call it a reset button. Like I said previously, we've come in once we lost the Tennessee and when we lost Kentucky. I felt like that after the Kentucky game, once we lost, we really just focused on what they exposed us to. And in that game in Tennessee, even though we didn't get the results that we wanted, I feel like we corrected that problem. Tennessee just played a better game than us that day. But after losing to Kentucky and Tennessee, going 0-2 in our final SEC stretch, I feel like coming in these 2 weeks that we had off, the coaches really did a great job of getting us ready for the things that we weren't doing right in the first two seasons, in the regular season and in the SEC season. So coming in to practice every day, it's always been a type of thing that the coaches have an emphasis on in that day. And I feel like as a team, we really just locked in and focused in on the things that the coaches wanted us to. And I feel like that it will carry over into our first game tomorrow against Missouri State.
Cease.
Chelsea, what about at the end of the rainbow here, you get a chance possibly to go to Dallas. You and Jordan a little bit gone home, but for the whole team, what about the care? How much of a motivation is that knowing if you win, you get to make a short trip to Dallas?
I feel like it's a great opportunity for us. Even Courtney Walker just being in Oklahoma, that's pretty close, and her family would be able to travel too. So as you can see on the videos, we were really excited about hearing that we were in the Dallas region, and it's honestly a blessing.
In the back, was there a question?
Lee Benson from KX. This is for Courtney. As the 4 seed, how do you guys make sure that the lower seeded team doesn't have any sort of, I guess, will to win, or like how do you make sure that they don't want to pull the upset off? And I guess, is it starting fast? I mean, making sure that they don't have any confidence. Like, what did you guys approach to making sure that you guys don't get upset?
You know, I think we just had a good talk about that. You know, watching the Little Rock boys game and the Baylor boys game as well. there's some good women's games on today, too. We've seen Florida go down to Albany. So I think starting on Saturday is better than starting on the first day. You see teams get upset, and for our younger ones, it's good for them to see up close and in personal that, it really happens. And so just using that as an example and coming out and playing our game is going to be big. I mean, not letting them get any momentum, taking away their three-point shots, and just taking away what they do and playing fundamental and the way the Aggies play.
Anything more for student athletes? All right, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? Scott in the back.
Coach, what are your thoughts on Missouri State, what you've seen of them on film? What do you know? What kind of challenges are they going to pose your team?
Well, as usual, I can't give you a short answer. I don't know how to do that, but I'll tell you what my background is with Missouri State. When I was at Arkansas for 10 years, that was our closest big-time rival. Not LSU, not Ole Miss. It was Southwest Missouri. Southwest Missouri at the time, they had been to 2 Final Fours. Sitting on their bench will be Jackie Stiles. Most of y'all young ones hadn't even heard of her. 2-time Kodak All-American. I recruited her hard at Arkansas. I've never seen a kid have a better individual workout than this kid. She went on to the NBA, got hurt, cut short her career, into coaching now. I played some great games against them. When you'd go over to Southwest Missouri, it was one of the toughest environments I've ever played in, ever. Probably that and Baylor might have been the 2 toughest arenas I've played in on a home court where the crowd really gets on you and everything. So I've had some good luck and some bad luck against them. And I still remember when Stiles was a freshman, I told my best defensive player this kid could cross you over, take you off the dribble. My player rolled her eyes at me and she said, "No, Coach." Stiles went for 32 that night and beat us at my place. So I know a lot about them. Their head coach, 1998, Kelly Jolly, was the starting point guard for Tennessee. And a very, very good one. The best Tennessee team that they've ever had anytime, anywhere in all the years. They had already won national championships in 96, 97. This was going to be 98. We're playing in Kansas City. We were Cinderella. We got to the Final Four. I've got an All-American point guard, Christy Smith. I'm trying to keep the game fast and ugly and stay with them. It was an 8-point ball game. 8-point ball game, they miss. We get the ball, we're flying down the court, and I'm holding up one finger for one shot. I wanted to at least be down single digits. Not we could cut it to 6 or 5. Christy went up and shot an open 3-pointer and missed, and I was hacked. And so here comes Shamika Hostclaw with the ball flying down the court. I tell Wendy Willits, who was guarding Jolly, to come over and double because I said she's going to dunk on us right before halftime. She passes the ball like Jordan did in that great pass he made to Paxton, I believe, back in the day. Went like this, passed it, and all of a sudden Jolly, and I said, "Oh, you know what?" And I start walking towards the tunnel. And I don't even watch. I just listen for the net popping. The net pop, they were up by 3, and I'm hacked off at myself and Christy. They're up by 11. And all of a sudden, I'm walking out the tunnel. And right before I get to the tunnel, I look around. I said, "Where's my team and the other team coming by me?" I'm walking out the wrong damn tunnel. That was the press tunnel. All the teams and the officials walked out the other one. And I go into the press area and then start down that tollway. They wouldn't let me by because I didn't have any credentials. You know, NCAA, you got to have buttons and ribbons and everything. And finally, my 2 assistants had to run and convince the guy I was the dumb coach that told her to get off of Jolly, and Jolly hit the 3. They went on and beat us by 28 and won the national championship by 22 the next night. Kelly Jolly is the perfect point guard. She's the perfect coach to come in to Missouri State now and put this program back on the map. She was at NC State for a few years and was building that program and got let go there, got the job there, and she's a big-time coach that knows how to win championships, knows how to win big ball games, and she knows how to elevate her kids to that next level. These are the ball games that everybody gets scared of playing. The 5-12s, the 4-13s, the 2-7s or whatever, because the David Goliath thing, it works sometimes. But whatever it is, the big schools from the big conferences try to walk in with a swag, and the little guys walk in with a chip on the shoulder. And they play freer and more relaxed than the team with the big reputations, the McDonald's All-Americans. So as a coach, I've got to get my team ready. I'm enjoying playing on Saturday because we're getting to watch the upsets in the men's game, in the WNIT, where 3 Big Tens lost yesterday. We just saw Florida blow a ball game. And all of a sudden you can build off that now, but when the game starts, who's favored? The team at home. And hopefully our fans will take care of that and give us a home court advantage. But we're ready to play. Tournament games are won at the guard position, both in the men and the women. You better have good guards that make good decisions, and then everything else is just icing on the cake. So that's my short-winded answer.
Cease.
Gary, coming off 2 losses, this first game more about your team and what they should do as opposed to matching up with what Missouri State can and can't do?
When you come off of 2 losses, which that's only happened one other time this year when we lost to South Carolina and Florida, you're ready to get right back in the gym. We hadn't played in 15 days. We played 1 game in 20 days. So that concerns me. But I balanced it out with a lot of time off for my kids, a lot of times to regroup, a lot of times for them to feel good about themselves again, and a lot of things that we've worked on practice to try to quit trying to run the perfect play instead of knowing how to play. Too many times we're walking the ball down the court trying to have the perfect execution. And at this time of the year, the defenses are generally ahead of the offenses because you've got 30 films on everybody. So what we're trying to do is build to our strengths, put our athleticism in, but play smart basketball. The 2 losses, yeah, they hurt. But look who the 2 losses were to. 2 teams that were picked in the top 10 to start the year. Kentucky was the hottest team at the time. Beating us on senior day, there's no excuse. They outplayed us, but we're supposed to win on senior day. We're at home. Tennessee was playing for their NCAA life. They played very well. We played better, but not near as good. It's my wife. One of y'all want to talk to her? Hold on. She's driving down here now from Fayetteville. Spend the night in Dallas. All right, Nan, you're off now. I've got you off. Okay. Sorry about that. What was your last question?
That was it. Was it more about you? You basically said, yeah, it's more about you.
It's right now, we know who we are. We're a good basketball team, but we're not a great basketball team. We play great at times, but who is a great basketball team now? Connecticut, Notre Dame, South Carolina at times, Baylor at times. Nobody else is great. It's all in front of all of us to prove it. What were y'all thinking of us in 2011 at our first press conference before we were going to play McNeese State? What was y'all's thought of us going into it? Were y'all just marking down, hey, we're going to win the national championship? No, none of y'all were. Probably none of us coaches were either, tell you the truth. But an opportunity is there. It gives you a chance. March Madness, you can have all the football you want, but they don't have a March Madness. March Madness is so good for everybody. Every division of basketball gives you that chance to do something special. Just right now, think of the American workplace right now. There ain't a damn soul working in those offices, okay? They're all watching their computer or their scores right now. And maybe that's good. Sometimes we need a break.
Ronnie.
Coach, if you guys are to make a deep run in this tournament, how important are your seniors to doing that?
We built the schedule around the seniors. That's why we're hosting. I also want to thank our administration while we're hosting, because we know how to hold championships in any sport, anytime. You got 3 schools that are not hosting that should be hosting, but due to conflicts, or they thought they were going to lose money, or they have a state tournament at their place, that's not looking ahead. That's not being fair to your women's sports. Our administration takes care of us. That's why we're hosting. That's why our numbers have been so good. I'm fired up to play tomorrow. I'm tired of sitting. I'm tired of watching other teams play. We're going to be ready to play. Now, we might throw it in the stands a few times. That's going to happen with turnovers. We're going to miss some shots. Hopefully we can make more than we miss. But my seniors, that's the whole key. Just like this guy from UALR, this article, read USA Today's article on the Little Rock. I just read it to my team, how this kid had never been in the NCAA tournament. Their coach got fired last year. They won 13 games. The new coach came in and brought 10 new players, and how this senior took it upon himself to make sure the ones that were staying were on the same bus with the head coach, and the new ones he was talking to every day on the phone. And he was talking about handling pressure. That's what you want out of a player. If you miss a shot, live with it, but don't be afraid not to take the shot. If you're a senior, you're a leader, you better be running out there, not trying to look cool in warm-up, but be efficient in your warm-ups and be ready on that opening tip. Those seniors there, they've been pretty special. And they're going to keep doing it, and then they're going to have great careers after here with their degree from Texas A&M, or if they go on into the pros. They've been special.
In the back.
Coach, what are the differences in preparing your team for a game in the regular season when you're favored compared to now in March when you're favored and it's the NCAA tournament? Is there any big differences for you?
If you're looking at conference, I can tell you what chewing gum you're chewing. I can tell you if you got a mark here, I can tell you where your birthmark is. I can tell you everything about you. I can tell you what the coach's tendencies are. I know everything about you. It doesn't mean I can beat you. But that's how much research is done when you're dealing with conference foes, when you've got all the technology and the film on everybody. That's why defense and rebounding has to win at this level, and kids making big-time plays and getting the ball in the hands of the right people at the right time. But when you're playing somebody for the first time, we see them on film, but until you experience that, you cannot see toughness on film. You can see them play hard, but how tough is that kid? Can she cross you over? Is she averaging 7 rebounds a game because they're bouncing to her, or does she go get them? Okay, the Snow kid, for example. She's averaging 16. Walker's been to the free throw line more than any kid in the SEC. This kid, Snow, who we're going to play, has made more than Walker's attempted. So it tells you she's getting to the line at 5'10" or 5'11", averaging 8 rebounds, doing what she can to help her team. And she drives the ball, she gets to the foul line, she'll post you up, she does the whole thing. But she's playing the Drakes and the Northern Illinois. She's not going against Elena Coates or the Shields or the people that we have to go against in our league. So sometimes stats are misleading. But she's got my attention because she's doing it on a consistent basis. It's just like Albany beating Florida. Ronnie Williams is the best player on the court, but doesn't mean Florida's going to win. Courtney Walker might be the best player on the court, but doesn't mean we're going to win. The Snow kid, had any of y'all heard about the kid from UALR that scored 32 on us last year? Their senior from Conway, Arkansas. Before we played them, there isn't a person in this room could have told us a thing about her, and she lit us up. So that's my long-winded answer.